Equalizing assets, debts, and 401ks. So we'll get calls where people have lots of assets, maybe several 401ks. The client I just got off the phone with today, the petitioner had 3 401ks, the respondent had 2, and they're like, oh, we're going to need 5 Quadros. Quadros is a qualified domestic relation order. It's the process that has to go through after the divorce to actually move the money from one account to the other, and it gets expensive. Some attorneys charge upwards of $2,500 per Quadro, and we charge $1,000. We do them, but we try and eliminate the need for as many as possible. And what we ask people to do is look how, if it's possible, that they can equalize those assets with other assets or other debts. I'll give you a for instance. So let's say that there's a 3 401ks, all held by one party, and it doesn't matter, but you get out a piece of paper and you have 3 401ks. Let's say one has $200,000 in it, and then the other 2 are smaller. Let's say they have $25,000 in each. If you're going to do 3 Quadros, it would be $100,000 from one and 12,500 from each of the smaller ones, and you do 3 Quadros. What I'd recommend in that type of scenario is, one, you do not Quadro the 2 smaller plans. So you have half of those 2 $25,000 plans, which is $25,000. What I'd recommend you do is just add an additional $25,000 to the larger 401k. So you'll do half of that 401k, that $200,000 401k in this scenario, and then add another $50,000 to that to offset or equalize the 2 smaller ones. Then what you will do, let's say they are owned by the petitioner. Petitioner will keep 100% of both those smaller 401ks, and then the settlement agreement will say that the community respondent will receive their community property interest in the $200,000 401k plus $50,000 as an equalization payment. And now you have 1 Quadro versus 3. And you can do that in a couple of different ways, not just with 401ks, maybe a 401k for a house. You have $500,000 in equity in the home, and your spouse has a $500,000 pension or 401k. You keep the house, I'll keep the 401k, go your separate ways. It's not always that easy because 401ks aren't liquid. Maybe one party doesn't want to keep the house, so you got to look at all those issues as well as any possible tax related issues.